Hey guys, today we're looking at this little Sony CD radio. Apparently it has no audio, just got one speaker hooked up at the moment. So we'll turn it on and confirm the problem. I'm guessing that button there. I would have thought that might be a display. I don't know. Okay, so correct, the fault is no audio by means of no work at all. Let's take the lid off. Oh, in case you're wondering, the model is a CMT-SBT20. So we've got 3 screws around the back edge. Now, because it has these little pins that come through the plate, it's going to have to slide backwards before it can lift up. Not by much though. Feels like it's stuck. Anything underneath? Doesn't look like it. Should just slide off. Oh, okay, just push a little bit harder. And we're probably going to have, yeah. So there's a cable here that goes to the top board. We need to unplug that. And it just popped off. The battery also went flat in the camera, so there we go. There we are. So now the top should come off, I would imagine. We have a CD stuck in there. So our power button is down there, which is behind all the shielding and everything. Maybe I could take this faceplate off separately. It's all one piece metal frame, similar to a car radio. Looks like the back actually might come off. So there's that. Okay, I think what we need to do is get the CD mechanism off so we can see what's under that, where the power supply and that is. Just pull this flex out of the connector there. We've got a couple of screws here. Oh, so that's nice and free. There'll be a couple of flexes under there, I would think. A couple of flexes, a power connector here. There's another little wire which will be this little switch for the in tray. Pop that off. Ooh. May need to use some pliers on that one or something gentle. These wires are very thin, so you can't really pull the connector with the wires like on ones with a fatter wire. So I just, oh, there we go. Oh, that came out a lot easier than I was trying. I must have loosened it first. Now, the CD laser flex, that one there. One thing that I've recently been told about, and I'll take it as accurate from a fairly well educated individual. On laser pickups, there's often exposed pads that you need to solder a bridge across, which protects the laser diode from static discharge while the flex is out. Should have done it before I unplugged the flex, but while being grounded I went and popped one on there just to be safe. It's something I've never done before and never had an issue, but I suppose while you can do it, you probably should. So we can see our power supply. Our connector on the right is labelled. Bottom up is plus 12, plus 12, ground and ground. Okay, so we're 12 volt into our main board. We have no bulged capacitors, so we'll check that and see what's going on. Our main board there, not a lot going on. There's our CD drive circuitry, main processor, the ROM by the look of it, or could be RAM, could be for decoding. Audio amplifier chip and Bluetooth module. There's a little bit going on in there. Probably could have left that flex plugged in actually. But we can get to what we need to get to, so let's check the basics. Do we have voltage there? Do we have our 12 volts? And we don't. Dead nut zero, so this supply is not even trying. We have a switch mode supply fault. So I went to unplug this to start taking it out, and I touched, and that's warm. That is really warm. So now I'm starting to think that maybe we have a short on the output and it's just dumping into a short, which is why it looks like nothing, but that's just crazy warm. Let's check for a short on the output. And our leads in plus and minus, we have 0 ohms. So there is a short on the output there. But is it on the power supply side, or is it on the mainboard side? Can't unplug that in, so I have to pop this out and test again. Pop down and oh, easy, watch where you're going, skin your knuckles on the chassis. One in there and one in there. While it's unplugged, we have, yeah, if I can get a good connection, so a few meg ohms. So our short is on the power supply. Now I would almost guarantee it's one of these two diodes on the output there. They come straight off the secondary in parallel and to our output. So let's desolder those and check them. Okay, so with one diode disconnected as they're in parallel, we can see we get a 0.29 nice low Schottky value on one diode, and on the other diode we get dead short. So we have one diode, that one right there, needs to be replaced. And I know I'm a bit Mickey Mouse without a stand, without a tripod, but the battery keeps going dead real fast, and honestly this old camera, it's time to retire it, I think. So I think I'll go buy a nice new camera, but this video is going to finish on this one, but I just have to keep juggling it between the charger and using it. So this little thing is a SR3100. It's 100 volt and 3 amps, but we know we're not dealing with 100 volt, we're dealing with 12. So what I have got is some 1N5822s, which are also Schottky rectifiers, rated 20 volts, give or take 3 amps. They have a lower 4 volt drop, so I'm going to actually replace both of them, just because then they're even and one of them's not conducting more than the other, since they run in parallel. So we have a couple of those in, nice new ones, and of course we do a quick check to make sure we don't have any dry joints. Areas of concern, usually the primary where it gets a bit warm. This one doesn't seem to, so pop it back in and see if we have 12 volts. Okay, what do we got there? Oh, 13, that's not too bad. And of course we need to take off our little solder blob. Looks alright. We'll give the pads a clean and make sure they're separate. There's 3 little pads there. And we remove that solder blob after the flex is reconnected, so that then we have a common potential between them. Right, will it work? Hello. Gosh, that's dim, isn't it? I guess that's, maybe there's a setting for that, I don't know. Oh, it's pretty dim. Oh, so we have radio. Oh, that works. We have left, right, cool. Right, well, thanks for watching another one. I'm going to have a look at that display and just see if there's any possible way to make it brighter, but if I find anything obvious I will let you know. But you know, for all I know that could be normal, but it just seems very dim. Anyway, thanks for watching.